here, but over at Stetson University. First of all, here's the number one song on campus. That's right, go Hatters. They're getting ready for the 2013 season. Roger Hughes is he's the head coach of Stetson football, and he's got the program rolling already. In fact, Roger's on the other end of our line. Roger, you're the big man on campus. You haven't lost yet, right?
Well, exactly right, and I'm looking to keep that undefeated record until about 2013.
Well, you know, the way the team is looking now, just an early, and I think we have to call it that, practice, I think you're putting them together mentally, physically, and I hope academically, because that's the way they came into the school.
Absolutely. You know, the academics obviously is the number one goal, and we're structuring our practice so they get plenty of time to get their schoolwork done and get themselves on the ground on a solid level of academically. And then athletically, you know, we're at that point in time where we're getting kind of tired of hitting each other. We don't have any outside opponents, so we're trying to do some things to, you know, keep it competitive, keep things lively, shorten practice, change practice around just to keep a fresh look on things.
Well, one of the things I know the university is doing, it's really a great undertaking because this is the first football game in 2013, the fall of 2013, that Stetson has had since the year of 1956. You got to rouse up all those alumni, get them back into going rah-rah football, and you're doing that around the country at tailgate parties, right?
Absolutely. It was interesting. We after I'd gotten hired here, about 2 weeks afterwards, I asked our athletic director if we'd had a tailgate party here in a long time, and he said no, and I said, well, we need some practice, and he kind of looked at me like I had two heads, and I said, no, really, we need to practice. We need to show these alums how much fun this thing's going to be to tailgate around, and so we looked at a map and tried to figure out, you know, where we have a number of alums and try to pick a great game in that area. So last year we did one in Atlanta at the Georgia Tech game. We did one in Miami at the Miami K-State game. We did one in the D.C. area at Annapolis for the Navy game, and we also did one in South Florida in Tampa. And this year, last week we went to Chicago to do Northwestern Vanderbilt, and this week, actually I'll be leaving later on this afternoon to go out to Palo Alto to watch the Stanford USC game, and then in Florida we'll do a Florida State game against BC and also the Florida-Georgia game up in Jacksonville.
Well, Roger, if the excitement from practice is anything that we can carry over to the 2013 season, it's really going to be great for the team. We were at one of your early practices, and I couldn't believe all the people that were out there watching Hatters football get ready for a season a year down the road.
It's amazing, and actually we had our first scrimmage scheduled at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that morning I went to pick up some laundry, and one of the workers there said, listen, you're having a scrimmage at 2, and I said, yeah. She goes, Coach, we can't come watch it at 2. Is there any way you could have a scrimmage at 7? I said, great idea. And so the last two we've had in the evening, and we've had anywhere between 400 and 500 people there watching the games, bringing their lawn chairs, stacking up outside the fence, actually watching from outside the complex, and it's really been gratifying because our student athletes are understanding, you know, what football means to this community, and frankly, I don't care what you say. When people are watching, you play at a higher level, and they're really getting the sense of how important this is going to be.
Well, last Friday night, our Cougars were over in DeLand to play football against the DeLand Bulldogs. It was a beautiful game. I understand we talked to Bob Abgar during the game, the mayor of DeLand, and he said the day after the final high school game, we get ready for college football here at the stadium.
Exactly. They're good. And actually, I had a meeting yesterday afternoon regarding the construction things, and we want to build it the right way. We don't want to overstate things, much like the baseball complex that the city of DeLand and Stetson had partnered to build a few years ago.
Sure.
So we want to do something similar, build it the right size, but also build it with the right quality. And clearly, this is going to be a huge recruiting tool for us, and also I think it'll be a huge recruiting tool for the town of DeLand when it comes to getting events that may be outside the high school and Stetson.
Well, I love it every time we talk to our mayor, Bob Apgar. You know, I think you'd have a tiddlywink team at Stetson, and he'd be the lead cheerleader.
Well, he is, and you know, the interesting thing is he's from Davidson, and they're obviously in our conference, and they're going to be someone we play every year, so there'll be a little bit of a grudge match going on there.
Well, I got to tell you, he's a great guy. He's a great guy to be at a mayor at this time with Stetson's growth in the community, so it's all working together. Have fun at the tailgate parties, keep the team going, and we're going to go rah-rah, go Stetson, right?
Hey, no question about it, Skip. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, we'll talk to you when you get back. There he goes. Head football coach, Stetson University, Roger Hughes, building that program up from the ground.